So that's how we do it at the PD. We smoke cigarettes in a room with no ventilation.
These guys want to fucking kill this dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking funny.
Which dude? Which one are they trying to kill?
So he's giving Buck shit, bro. One of his guys. Calling his friends pretty much an
So,
asshole and a bitch. Like,
Mr. Xeon, is it?
it's hilarious.
Could be.
Could be. It's either a yes or a no.
You know my name.
I'm going to assume that you don't know your own name.
I don't recall.
So,
I just got one thing. To make this short and simple. Buck held us all at gunpoint to make all that happen.
say that one more time, loud and clear for me.
Buck held all of us at gunpoint to make that hostage situation happen.
So, Mr. Crocker, you are blaming Buck holding you at gunpoint.
Donnie and I, yes.
So, who is Donnie? Donnie's the other person?
Yup.
What was Donnie's last name?
I don't recall.
Officer Barnes, do you happen to have Donnie's last name? That would be fantastic, please.
There's gonna be a one Adonis Johnson.
So, how did this all start, Mr. Crocker?
I'm assuming you heard that on the radio.
I did.
Well, I told you. We were, you know, making our money, doing jewelry runs, and, yeah. Buck calls us, you know, and, holds us at gunpoint to take the hostage. The hostage gets on his bike. We weren't around when he took the hostage. Hostage gets on his bike, and, yeah, we met him in my vehicle at the dam, and yeah, that was that.
All right, so you had the hostage. Mr. Buck had the hostage, correct?
Yes, on the bike.
And he met you guys up at the dam. When he arrived at the dam, what did he say was going to happen?
He told me to get on the roof with the gun, and he told Donnie to go, try to, negotiate with Cheddar.
What did you say when Mr. Buck told you to get up on the roof with the gun? What were your thoughts?
Sorry about that. The thoughts going through my head at that time were, you know, I got a lot going through Buck, so I was obligated, and like I said, he held us at gunpoint, so.
May I interject, Mr. Green?
Go ahead.
At what point was he pointing the gun at you out of curiosity, or was it just an implied follow what I'm saying, or?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is it a figure of speech saying that he had a gun pointed at you, or did he literally have a gun pointed at you?
Figure of speech, I would say. I mean, I should have clarified that, but, yeah, I mean, he threatened us with very bad things.
It's less of
which he
clarification,
implied.
more of, you guys are part of the same crew, or am I wrong?
I have no idea.
Is all wearing the same sort of cut?
Yeah. it's just I like it.
Is
Fashionable.
he not a member of the Lost?
Repeat that.
Is he not a member of the Lost?
I have no idea what he's affiliated with.
You are a member of the Lost, correct?
No,
Don't lie to me now. Come on.
I don't recall.
All right, so
Final answer.
Buck told you to get up on the roof with a gun pointing at the hostage. What was the original plan out of all this? What did Buck tell you that you were going to try to get?
I don't recall.
So you don't recall anything being negotiated?
I was on the roof.
What he's asking is, was there a plan before that the three of you had?
Yeah, there was a plan going into it.
What was it?
Exactly what you saw. I mean, are you asking me what I'm getting out of what we were trying to get out of the negotiations with Cheddar?
Well, now I'm confused. If there was a plan and the plan went as it did,
Yeah, I'm confused too.
Where-
We gotta take that up with Bob.
where's the gun pointed at you and you being in danger?
Like I said, I should have clarified. There's a lot over my head. I'm not gonna say with who or where. But yeah, and something was stated that there, was going to be a gun pointed at my head. So if I was to not do this,
So what sort of relationship do you have with Buck?
I've only met him once or twice.
And you're willing to rat him out right now?
I'm not willing to do anything.
See, the funny thing is, I've been an officer for shit, I can't even remember how long now, to be fair. I've seen a lot of things. I've spoken to a lot of gang members, a lot of crew members, a lot of individuals, a lot of civilians, a lot of corrupt police officers, a lot of non-corrupt police officers, like everyone you can think of, I've dealt with. And the funny thing is, and it could go from place to place, crew to crew, gang to gang, is that members or friends
230 dispatch.
do not
that,
rat out
uh,
anyone from their crew.
statement is in the report section if anyone needs to see it.
Okay, so take what I said to you for what you will.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
This is what I find very
What was that?
it's very interesting because you guys seem to run together. I've seen yous roll together constantly before, you're always in either a group of two, group of three. Hell, it was a group of four at one point. And you seem to be very, very good friends. Does Buck know what you're telling us right now?
Interrogation 1's now free to be used.
I mean, no. Why would he know?
I mean, because you could be sitting there trying to waste your time. And that
Trying
could
to
be part of the
waste your-
plan.
Okay.
I'm not
Could
saying
be.
that's what you're doing.
No, I know, but it could be. I mean,
All right. What I want to know, Mr. Crocker, is with what you are telling us, what is it that you hope to get out of leaving from here? What is it that you're wanting?
what are you guys trying to make a deal right now?
I'm asking. Hell, I don't have to make a deal with anyone. It's entirely up to me. But I'm asking, is that what you're after?
No.
230.
So you couldn't care if you couldn't care if we were to make a deal with you or not. You just
Cafe
wanna go.
Escort the
Yeah, I mean,
hostage from
I'm not
last
gonna sit
scene.
here and be talked to like that. If you want to make the deal, you want to. If you don't, you don't.
do you have anything to offer for a deal? Well, as I said, I'm willing to make a deal. I don't have to make one, but I will only make a deal if there is something being brought up on your end.
can I be? What can I offer? What
I
can
know,
you-
I know for a fact that two of the negotiations for one was for $50,000 in cash and the other one was for the ingredients for methamphetamines.
Yeah, you could be right.
So if that's the case, there is something a little deeper going on if you're after the ingredients for methamphetamines.
Who said we were after the ingredients of methamphetamine?
That was part of the negotiations. That was brought to you over radio to me. I heard it.
I wasn't on the radio, so
Well, apparently whoever was your negotiator mentioned that it was $50,000 and the ingredients for methamphetamines.
I don't recall that.
Who was the person that was in the cuffs that Officer Cheddar had?
They both got the same hair. How? I have no idea.
Well, one was on a bike who didn't have a mask on, and the other one was handcuffed and had a mask on. There was only two of you. Or
Okay,
two of
so I
them,
know the
sorry.
answer to that. I see that recording device right there. I am. You know the answer to that.
Why are you talking in circles all of a sudden?
Because it seems like you guys don't know what the truth is and what the truth isn't. You're going against my word, trying to, you know, get more out of me that's not there. So
No, my job is to ask questions that need to be asked and ask questions that haven't been asked.
I'm just here as a witness and making my 2 cents whenever possible. I hold no power here at all.
yeah, I could tell.
Well, Mr. Crocker, for now, I'm going to have Officer Barnes send you back into one of the holding cells. Have a think about if there is anything that you wish to speak to me about, if there is a deal that you wish to be struck.
So deal here. The deal would be less jail time, money. What are we talking here?
I can do less jail time, I can do less money, I can do both. I can do no jail time. All depends on information.
230, 1076 MRPD.
Hell, I have the power to let you walk out of here with no cuffs on.
Just to give you an idea, Mr. Crocker, who he is our former chief of Chicopee Police,
I didn't ask who he
and
was.
is now the. I'll tell you, he's now the leader of FIB. So he can tell you. He has the ability to grant almost any deal possible, and no one in PD can fight it.
How about, I don't know, how about you put me in that cell? I'll think about it. I'll let you know back on that.
We can do that. Officer Barnes, would you mind taking him back to the holding cell and bringing in the other individual, not Mr. Buck, but the other one, please?
No problem. Sure.
Thank you.
strange clouds in here.
Go ahead
Can I
and sit
get-
down at either one of these.
Can you uncuff me so I can sit down?
Hey, Green, do you mind if he's cuffed or not?
You be stupid in the room, you'll find out.
That's true.
You got a cigar for me?
I am very comfortable where I am right now.
Officer, you got a cigar in your back pocket you could hand me? The fucking smell of smoke in here is really making me fucking crave some good old cigar smoke.
You know what? I'll be nice. I'll give you one.
Thank you. My side.
So, Officer Barnes, who is it that we have here in front of me?
I believe this is Dex,
Who?
aka Prez.
Who? Wait, time out. Who did you think the Prez is?
Aren't you Dex?
Fuck no, I ain't Dex.
I'm sorry. I did not mean to insult you on that one. You
Jesus
guys are very new.
Christ.
I'm sorry.
I get it, but fuck me, Dex.
The other guys said Dex as, you know, you did your little disappearing act for a second. Going in your head. As the officer with a similar cowboy hat came in, so that's...
I think he's one head injury off away from being a fucking vegetable.
Yeah, well, for the record, would you mind stating your name, please?
My name? Prez.
Alright.
Would you mind
ahead.
just speaking up a little bit
Finger
for
on
me,
the,
please?
Scanner.
Yeah, I can speak up.
Appreciate it.
Go ahead and put your finger on the scanner for me. Alright, we have, Oh, I'm sorry, I brought Buck in here.
That's fine. Now, Mr. Buck, I've heard some conflicting stories.
Alright,
Now I need to hear your side of it.
okay.
So, tell me from start to finish what happened. What was the goal of this?
Well, the goal of this was to make some fucking money. But, I'm a moron and didn't realize that you guys did not negotiate with money. That was my fault. I had a misunderstanding on my part.
Mm-hmm.
So, I learned a lesson on that front. But after we realized we wasn't getting no money, what I really wanted was Cheddar's sweet tits. So we was gonna trade when the backup arrived. We was gonna trade the hostage for Cheddar,
Interesting.
and then we was gonna take him and make him do a rain dance for us without a shirt on. Because the other night he embarrassed us down here in these cells by playing Justin Bieber, trying to make our ears bleed.
Oh, I'm well aware of that. You do. Are you aware that we have cameras in the holding cells there?
That, I swear to God, that better not get leaked.
Oh, the entire of the LSPD has already seen it.
That was supposed to be private.
Well,
I can't help it that I get Bieber fever when I hear it.
I might add, though, Mr. Buck, that when I did watch the footage, and I have it back at FIB headquarters as well, I made a duplicate copy, that I will say your voice stood out the most. I don't know if I should congratulate you on the set of windpipes that you have for your singing voice.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I watched them like 3 seasons of American Idol once.
Well, it seems to have paid off. But the issue I have, Mr. Buck, is that it seems your boys have ratted out on you.
Oh yeah, did they?
Yeah, the previous guy we had in here, Mr. Crocker, Zeon Crocker, says this was entirely your doing, and it was basically having a gun, and I quote, having a gun pointed at me to force to do this?
Sure did.
Now, why would you point a gun at one of your own crew members?
Because sometimes, you know, you gotta show them you mean business, and when you say you do something, do it. I don't know if you know this about you running an organization, but sometimes, as the leader, you gotta show them that you're carrying the long dick of the law, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, believe me, I'm well aware of that. I was the chief of the LSPD here before I moved up to FIB.
So exactly, you know what I'm saying. Sometimes people get a little too comfortable, and you gotta keep them fucking knowing that you're a crash out. You know what I mean?
I
I'm
do.
a certified
I
crash
do.
out.
I can tell you now, I've had some officers here that have definitely needed a clip up the ear. So,
So know where I'm
you...
coming from.
Oh, I'm well aware of where you're coming from there, Mr. Buck. So, being the president of the loss, you have to, you know, do those sort of things often?
No, not really. Great group of men, hard workers.
Apart from the ones that don't listen and you have to point a gun at them?
Listen, that was just to show them, you know, that I can also crash out from time to time. All right, just trying to keep them guessing. I would say, you know, don't want them to think I'm too level-headed and that they're ever safe.
You need to show them who's boss. You need to keep that authority up.
Exactly. If I, you know, the other day one of the members got mouthy with me and I beat his ass with a baseball bat.
What about that other member you have in the back there? Not Mr. Crocker, the other one. I can't think of his name. What was his name again? Someone did tell me.
Donnie.
What was it again, sorry?
Donnie?
Yeah, the other one that's in the cell back there with you, yeah.
Yeah, Donnie.
So another crew member of yours you've had to kind of put in his place?
No, Donnie's a good worker.
Ah, so it's
Donnie,
Xeon that's not the
Donnie,
good worker.
No, they're both great workers. They both bust their ass day in, day out for me.
Okay. Well, so I'm going to assume that, you know, one's higher than the other. Do you ever have to, you know, kind of tell one to beat the other one up because, you know, they're not listening, or are they kind of like both on the same level in the Lost?
They're on the same level. They're good guys. Both hard workers. I don't got any room to promote either one of them because they both are equally hard workers, you know?
Oh, that's fair enough. Yeah, I do know that feeling too, yeah. You know, it seems like favoritism.
Yeah, no, I don't play favorites. They both bust their ass.
Well, that's fair enough. So, I've got to ask you, Mr. Buck. What was the plan on trying to find the methamphetamines ingredients? What were you going to do?
What am I gonna do?
What would you do with it?
Oh, you know, first thing I would do is I'd cook up a bunch of methamphetamine, and then I'd go downtown and sell it to a bunch of school-age children. They love candy. Looks just like candy. Fucking rock for 'em.
What, so you'd head to the college and sell it to college kids?
Exactly. They love that shit.
So that's your goal while you're here, is to cook methamphetamine and sell it off to college kids?
I mean, that ain't my goal. My goal is to be the most feared man in the city.
Oh, shit, okay. How do you plan on achieving that?
Well, we're gonna grow each and every day, and anybody who tries to get in the way will be nothing more than a fucking speed bump.
Any ways in particular that you're planning on, you know, doing this? Because, you know, I've seen gangs, you know, try to do really some, actually, genuinely. Have you ever been down to Uwu?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So if you've ever gone down to Uwu, if you ever do, they used to, I don't know if they still do, Barnes, do they still sell the that mystery box with the plushie in it? I can't remember.
Who hasn't been open in months, sir?
Well,
Who was open today?
Uwu used to sell this mystery box. I can't remember if it's called a mystery box or not. but it had this plushie in it, and you know there was
They
like,
were open today. It was while I was asleep. Sorry.
yes, they had about 8 or 9 different sort of plushies in it. There was a gang going around trying to be, you know, the lords of, you know, plushies. You trying to do something like that, or what's your sort of goal?
Well, I want it to be when you're sitting up at your desk there at the FIB building, right?
Mm-hmm.
The building start to shake. Say, man, forecast didn't call for any thunder today, right? And you're gonna go over after you take a sip out of your whiskey glass and look out the window. And you're gonna see about 50 bikes rolling right down the road. Throttles open, shifting gears, wind blowing in their hair, and you're gonna say, "Son of a bitch, the lost is here."
I will say I am a
my
bit of a
goal.
bike man, so I do fancy bikes. I will say that.
It's gonna sound real damn good with 50 of them rolling past your building.
Okay, so you plan on having the Lost be one of, or the biggest gang within the state here,
Absolutely.
and methamphetamines is the goal of that?
No, I mean, quite honestly, I've been thinking about buying some local business, maybe a pizza shop. I have a pretty cool name in mind.
Yeah, what name?
Called Lost in the Sauce.
Oh damn, that's actually pretty fucking good.
Get it? Because we're the Lost.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
That is actually a really fucking clever name. Damn.
Thank you.
I'll give you credit for that.
Thank you. So we've been thinking of some business opportunities, maybe a mechanic shop here, a mechanic shop there. You know how us bike fellers are. We like to turn, bolts and nuts and shit.
Okay, that's fair enough.
But no, we just want to grow and, quite honestly, raise money for charity at some point.
Were you planning on hurting the hostage that you took?
If I didn't have to.
Do you feel any remorse for said hostage?
Seemed like a nice girl, but, I mean, hell, so did the last one I ordered to disappear.
Hmm.
I don't really feel remorse, It's like, people are pawns in my game of chess, right? I can tell you there's people that I'd feel remorse if anything happened to. And that's the folks in my MC. But anybody else outside of that, they can either get on board or get the fuck out of the way,
Oh, I'm aware of that feeling there, Mr. Buck. And believe me.
We have objectives, we have goals. We're not going to let anybody get in the way of those. Whether it be, you fellers with your polished shoes and your fancy badges and them patrol cars that go fast as fuck, don't matter. Nothing matters. We got goals in mind, and there's not a damn thing that anybody can do to prevent us from achieving.
You guys got that latest call?
You know what? That is good to know, Mr. Buck, because do you want to know something about myself?
What's that, sir?
I have been in law enforcement for I don't know how long now. I've lost count of the years. And you and I have got one thing very in common, which I've just realized.
2:30, can check it out.
What's that?
That we are both very goal orientated.
Absolutely. You don't got goals. What's the fucking point of getting up out of the bed in the morning?
Now, you see, your goal, as you have mentioned, is to grow your MC. Which, thank you for stating that, because your friend previously to you didn't want to say shit. So, I thank you for stating that for us and who they are.
I mean, growing an MC ain't a crime.
Oh, I know, I know.
We have business that we want to do that's not criminal, We want to do a lot for this community. We want to put out a demolition derby and all sorts of shit.
It was more so he tried to talk
2:30,
circles,
1076 for the
thinking that,
latest.
we were trying to trap him in something.
You see, my goal here is I protect people in this city, in this state, really. All the way from the docks down south, all the way up north past Paleto onto the islands, and even further, as far as I can go. It's what I do.
Dispatch,
It's what I've done for years.
Got a vehicle outside
And
the Lisa Bank
I'm
here.
turning my radio
Back
off.
end of it to the doors. Don't see any individuals inside at the moment.
I apologize. My radio is a little annoying sometimes. But that is my goal there. So I protect the people of this city, and I like to give back when I can. I'm glad that you said that you like to give back when you can as well. So I'm hoping, you know, sometime down the track that we can see on the same page together, giving back to the community.
Absolutely, man. Listen, when I was a young buck, quite literally, you know, this is hard for me to talk about, but I got bullied a lot, and I was getting my ass whooped and down, you know, whooped up and down the street, and I heard a crackle. Crackle that sounds very familiar to me every day as I'm riding down the road. I heard a crackle of a motorcycle. And up comes this feller on this bike with this patch on his back that lost MC. You want to know what that guy did for me? To those 3 guys that were older than me, jumping me, just beating the absolute dog shit out of me.
What is that? What did he do?
He grabbed them cocksuckers, pulled them over to the curb, and stomped on the back of one of their fucking head. The other 2 pissed their goddamn pants and ran the fuck out of there so quick that you couldn't even tell they was there. And ever since that day, I said, you know what? I want to be like that. I'm gonna be that guy one day. I can tell you as I sit right here in this fucking chair, I am him. I'm that guy.
You want to be a protector?
I protect those who can't protect themselves.
And that is
Don't
why right
make me
now you're
mistake.
taking the blame for the other 2, saying that you're the one who pointed the gun, and you're taking the blame for them.
I mean, granted, I'm the one who did it. They had no idea what was going on. I just told them to meet me at the dam. Put up with a damsel in distress.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Buck, for talking to me. I do appreciate that. Officer Barnes, would you mind escorting Mr. Buck back to the cells, please, and bringing in the other individual?
Not a problem. You want to stand up for me, sir? I am just going to reapply these cuffs just so that way,
It's fine. I'll walk out nice and easy. Don't pull that back on me. My wrist is fucking. I didn't try shit in here, did I?
Just be aware, if you do try anything walking out there, there are many officers.
Oh no, I know better than that.
There you go. We'll have a seat in the chair there.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm so fucking scared right now.
That is good.
No, I'm kidding.
Will you hold me, please?
I'm not that kind of officer.
Okay, I'd feel more comfortable if you took a seat next to me, though. You don't have to hold
How
me,
about
just
this? I
next
will
to me.
sit in front of you.
Okay, that'd make me feel better, yes.
Alright, do you mind stating your name for the record, please?
Government name or abbreviated name?
Both.
Oh, preferably.
Adonis Johnson, but I go by Donnie.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes, sir.
you have manners. That is good to see.
Yes, sir. Of course.
Explain to me everything that had happened today, everything that had occurred from the moment that the hostage was brought up to the dam.
Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Me and my boy Zombie, we was doing jewelry, and Buck basically showed up, and he he held us at gunpoint, and he told us to come with him immediately. Which at that point were unaware that he had a hostage with him, and then we took a trip up to the dam there, and he started ordering us around with his gun to do things, which ultimately led to me trying to negotiate with Captain Cheddar there, some sort of kind of like a plea deal almost. But this whole thing is all Buck, man. This has nothing to do with me. I was very cooperative during the whole thing.
Were you the individual that was placed in handcuffs?
Yes, sir. I was detained immediately because I walked up and gave myself up.
Are you aware of what he was asking for and why?
I was aware after I had approached Cheddar.
So you're aware that he
Why-
asked for the
I don't have
ingredients for
to-
methamphetamines and $50,000.
Please state that question again.
So you are aware that he asked for the ingredients of methamphetamines and $50,000.
Yes, because that's what he radioed me to say.
What? Excuse me. What kind of position do you hold within the Lost?
I am a vice president.
So you're one under Buck.
Yes, sir.
So being vice president and all, you would have thought that you would have been informed on what your president was going to do.
Right. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, detective. He's been quite secretive lately, and I'm not really about that. I feel as vice president, I have a right to know what's going on within the club.
You know, I would feel the exact same way. I would,
Yeah.
if I had a boss over the top of me, I would, I'd feel a little disrespected if I wasn't told what was going on.
Right, and I don't want to rat the guy out, but I'm ratting the guy out. He fucked up.
See, we had Buck in here just before you were here. And he was informing us that the plan was that they were going to use the cooked methamphetamines to start to take control of the city. Are you aware of this?
I am unaware of that.
In his words, he wants the Lost to be the biggest MC in the city. Are you aware of that?
I am aware of that.
Are you aware of any other ways he wants to attempt to do this?
No.
I'm just going to add one thing here really quickly. This way you can ponder in your mind.
Sure.
Depending on the information that you are willing to give us, I have the power here, and Officer Barnes can testify to this, that I can make you walk out of here without any cuffs on your wrists.
Yes.
So you identified him as detective. This is actually Agent Green of the FBI. Or
Oh,
FIB.
my apologies, sir.
That is perfectly fine. So just be aware that any information that you do give us that we deem that is valuable, we are more than willing to cut a deal if necessary, if that is what you're wishing to have.
That is what I'm going to wish for at this current time. Yes.
Alrighty. So your other friend out there, Mr. Zeon Crocker, what kind of position does he hold within the Lost?
He's also a vice president. We have 2 VPs in our club.
Do you two kind of clash?
One of-
That'd be a bit difficult, wouldn't it?
No, we tend to get along very well.
Do you oversee different aspects of the club, or
I would say that me and Mr. Crocker work together most of the time because, like I said, Prez has been very secretive lately, so we haven't really known what's been going on with him. But as far as me and Mr. Crocker, we work together. We're very close colleagues in this club.
so it's a joint hierarchy on in that case then?
That'd be correct, sir.
So if you didn't know about the plans that Mr. Buck had for the methamphetamines, what information do you have that's going to be valuable? Because it seems as though, as you've said, Mr. Buck has been pretty secretive.
Right. So that's, me and Mr. Crocker not knowing about the situation or the hostage, that kind of puts us in a tough situation because now we're tied into something we had no business even being a part of, especially with Buck being so secretive about these things.
Are you
Have you
aware of
known
any...
about-
Sorry, Officer Barnes, go ahead.
Sorry, we keep trying to talk over each other. Had you been aware of what was going to go down at the dam, would you have gone?
Personally, I would not have gone. I would have probably stayed back. But like I said, there was a gun to my head. I had no other choice.
Understandable.
See, Mr. Zeon, or Mr. Crocker, I should say, had said the same thing. Are you meaning this figuratively or metaphorically? A gun pointed to your head.
There was an actual gun pulled and drawn to my head.
Interesting.
Just for timeline's sake, can you identify at what point?
At what point was the gun drawn?
Yes. At what point?
Was your life directly in threat?
Yes.
I would say initially when he kind of approached us in the middle of making our necklaces at the foundry there. And basically within about 3, 4, 5 seconds or so, I would say gun was drawn and he said to get out of the foundry immediately. And that was an order from him.
See, now I've got a problem here. I really do.
Okay.
And the problem I have right now is it's not the fact that there's conflicting stories. Even Mr. Crocker said that, Mr. Buck had, pointed a gun in regards to this situation. The conflict that I have is directly for you.
Okay.
And see, I don't know why you're a part of the Lost here. So it's very confusing, conflicting. It seems as though the information that you've given me now, you as vice president don't seem to get told anything by Buck. You weren't made
not to cut you off for a second, but Buck is radioing in my ear right now. Can I shut it off?
How is he radioing?
That's
your
very
ear? Hold up.
interesting.
I don't know.
Officer Barnes, would you be able to figure that out, please?
I will.
Appreciate it.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's perfectly fine. I'm glad you made me aware of that.
I told you he's the master behind all this madness that's happening, taking place.
So, as I was stating, I feel empathy and I feel sorry for you, and the reason is that you've been placed in a position of power. You are second in charge of an MC, vice president. It's a very high, distinction. Would you agree with that?
I'm very honored to hold. Yeah, I'm very honored to hold that position. But
Yeah. So that
when my president acts the way he does, it doesn't make me proud.
now you see, like being vice president is kind of like being the assistant chief here at LSPD. It is the second highest rank. It's above a lot of people.
Right.
But the reason I feel so sorry for you right now is the fact that the way Mr. Buck has not even informed you on the way that they were going to grow. Sorry, let me rephrase that. The way that the Lost was going to grow the city using methamphetamines, you weren't even made aware of this. And you're vice president.
Exactly, and that's wrong of him.
So my dilemma here is, what kind of deal am I being able to make for you if Mr. Buck isn't even going to give you any information? What can you actually give me?
The only thing I could give you is Buck is behind all this, and I have no part in this other than, him forcing me to negotiate with Captain Chetta during the situation, and then obviously escalated to a point. But I initially, like I said, I stated, I gave myself up immediately because I was unaware of the situation we were being drawn into, and I didn't want to go to jail. I don't want to face time for something I was not made aware of.
I'm
Understandable and all that.
Yes.
However, Buck's already admitted all that.
Right.
So if we're supposed to cut a deal with you, we need something that hasn't already been admitted, or something that we can go off to create another investigation to solve another case or XYZ. You understand what I'm saying?
You seem like a person. You seem like a very intelligent person. I will give you this. I've come across my share of dumbasses in my years, and you don't seem like one.
Well, I appreciate that.
You seem like, and please correct me if I'm wrong in stating what I'm about to state, but it seems though you have ambitions.
I do.
It seems though that your ambition would want to be at one point, whether, tomorrow, 10, 20 years, whatever it may happen to be, at one point you'd want to be president of the Lost.
It's crossed my mind.
Now you see, when I mentioned that, I could see the.
I could almost feel the grin from here.
I could, yeah. I'm standing against the wall, and I could feel like the sort of the happiness kind of envelop around him as soon as I said about him becoming president. That seems to be a big dream of yours. Is that correct?
Yes, that would be correct, sir.
Now I could. This might seem a little odd coming from an FIB agent, but you do know that if Buck at some point were to serve many, many years incarcerated, you would end up becoming president, correct?
Well, it would be between you and Zion, but yeah.
Right. I would bestow the president position on Zion, just because I feel like I appreciate you telling me I'm very intelligent and whatnot, but I feel as though Mr. Crocker could run the organization better than I could. But I think if he was president and I was vice president, I think the Lost could really achieve greatness in the city.
I would have to disagree on that one. The little bit of a conversation I've had with Mr. Crocker, he doesn't seem too willing to talk, very closed-minded, very shut in on himself, barely spoke any words to us, unlike yourself, who, be granted, we are, law enforcement, you are a person who has been involved with serious crime, but you are very pleasant to talk to, and it's very rare that we get that from people. Officer Barnes can probably testify to this.
I can. I've had 8 years under the force, different cities, different places, and this is one of the most civil conversations I've had in an interrogation room.
I'm going to lay something on the table here for you, and I need you to have a think about this, because we're going to end the conversation here very shortly. Okay?
Okay.
And I will tell the officers now, and I know there are probably some that are hearing this, and Mr. Barnes can testify to this as well later on. I'm going to ask them to cut you a bit of a break. You have been very pleasant to deal with. You have been quite nice to talk to. You've given us some information, which has been very handy, but I'm going to put this on the table for you here. And I need you to listen. And I need you to listen good. All right?
Copy. Copy.
If you want one day to be president of the Lost, FIB can help with that, but you need to help us.
Okay.
Have a think about that. I know it feels like being a rat. I know it feels like betraying your club. But if you believe, if you sincerely and truly believe that you could bring the club to new heights, if you believe that Buck, for some reason, is a bit hot-headed and a bit spontaneous for what the club needs,
He is, yes.
then if you help us, we can keep your name completely out of it. No one would know whatsoever.
What kind of information do you need?
You know, over time, and I'm not saying now, as I said, have a think about it. It is a very big decision. And, you know, I would not expect an answer within 10 seconds, okay?
Okay.
Information that we would need to incarcerate Mr. Buck, or information that you guys may need to eject him from the Lost. I don't know how you guys, I know each club have their own rules, have their own dedicated rules that they have to, you know, eject someone from a particular club, to remove them from that spot. Some clubs even bleed them out. But
Yeah,
what
that's what we do. Bleed in, and then you want to leave your blood out.
if Buck is going to be restless, I can tell you now the Lost is going to be in the eyes of all law enforcement, LSPD and FIB both.
I want to
And I'll
become
tell you-
established in this city, and I want to work for greater things and greater causes.
And I believe
I
you.
will tell you this.
And I think us going down the route we're going right now is not good. We need to ease up, need to focus. If we want to bring a great club to this city, I think we need to overthrow Buck.
It's one thing to do crime. It's another to do so much
I don't
crime.
want to do the time anymore, man. I'm over it.
Well, it's not about the time, honestly, because like Green was saying, if your club becomes the focus of FIB, of multiple of our
You honestly have no idea. And this is not a threat. This is just genuine information I'm going to give you. You have no idea
Green is currently
the
operating above
tools that I have at my disposal.
I believe you.
The smallest tool that I have, I used today.
that.
And that was a heavy sniper.
Yeah.
Mr.
I
Green.
mean, I personally didn't catch it, but I saw it.
Sorry, Officer Barnes, what was that?
Just to relay what was told to me over comms, Buck is getting tired and may need to take a nap.
That's
And,
okay. We can get them to send both the other two off now, and we can finish
Zion
talking.
would like to edit his have another conversation with us.
Alrighty. Let's have a think about what we've discussed. You are more than welcome to get in contact.
Green says we can go ahead and release Buck.
Do what you need to do. Send him off. Do
Or not
whatever.
release. Send him off.
Can you reiterate that one more time? I'm sorry.
Have a think about what we've discussed today.
Mm.
Have a think about where you want your club to be.
On
Okay,
top.
I'll do you one better. If you have any information that you feel you want to give us,
Buck's trying to make math.
We've
we already know
gathered.
that.
That's
I
about
just
all
sent
I
you
can
my
give
card. Well, I just
That's
sent you my
about
card
all I
digitally.
can give you.
That is
If
fine.
you have any information that you would like to give us, feel free to contact me directly, and I can get it to Green or whoever it needs to get to.
Okay.
I can tell you
Obviously,
now.
with your permission, Mr. Green.
That is perfectly fine. I can tell you now that there are groups in the city here. I can walk up to their leaders in their block and talk to them and walk away without any weaponry on me, and I can feel safe doing it.
I want you to
Icons.
feel the same way with the Lost.
Icons are a prime example. One of the biggest groups in the city. I can walk up to their leader, give him a hug, fuck around with him, and I can walk away. I would love to have this sort of relationship with the Lost. We don't need to have the Lost in the eyes of LSPD and FIB.
I agree.
So have a think about it. As I said, this is going to take time. Your club will grow. Your club can make a name for itself, but I'm going to ask, don't let it make a name for itself on the wrong name. All right. Officer Barnes, feel free to escort him back to the cells. Feel free to take any leniency that you feel free, that you wish to use. I will grant any leniency.
Appreciate you.
No worries at all.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just wanted to, for a second, Father, I'm so proud of you. You're doing so good.
Mr. Crocker.
Back.
We
I'm
need to
gonna
get
talk with Cheddar real quick about leniency.
Yeah, no worries. Mr. Crocker, I believe you've had a think.
I'm sorry, repeat that.
I believe that you've had to think about some stuff and you wish to speak to us again.
Yeah, so, Buck did it all. And when I say that, I mean, Buck held us at gunpoint at the foundry, and, yeah, before we got the hostage, and, yeah, that was that. The rest is history. So I told you, you know, bits and pieces here that were true, but yeah, that's what I gotta say. Now I hope we can make this deal.
Do you believe Buck has the best interests of the Lost in mind?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
See, speaking to the previous gentleman that was here, what was his name again, Officer Barnes?
Adonis.
Adonis, yes.
Okay, Donnie.
So speaking to Mr. Donny, I got the information, I won't say I got the information, I kind of gathered from reading between the lines from what he was stating that Buck is very hot-headed.
Yeah, he can be hot-headed.
Is he impulsive?
What is this for?
It just seems as though that he's trying to have the Lost constantly in the eyes of the LSPD and FIB by pulling maneuvers like this.
Well, I think it's coming from, he wants to make a statement, you know.
Do you believe that this statement is going to be helpful?
I mean, not with you guys, no.
If you were president, would you do this?
I would not do this.
And why is that?
Let me show you real quick. We've got within what 3 days of each other, attempted murder of a civilian on all of you. Now, kidnapping and whatever charges else that they have, as far as that I wasn't there for it. But this is two very massive, big statements to us that Lost MC is going to be a violent gang.
And with Buck as president, it will continue to do so.
So I'm going to state something to you here, Mr. Crocker. I'm just going to state it to you only. Is that I don't believe you want the Lost to be in the eyes of the LSPD and FIB constantly, do you?
I would say not constantly, yes.
If you had your choice, you would keep to your own business, so we wouldn't be, constantly watching you, watching your every move.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's a true statement. Yeah, I think that's all I gotta say about that.
Have a think about what I'm going to say next, because after what I say next, I'm going to allow Officer Barnes to take you back to the cells. Is that you may need to reconsider who you have as president, Mr. Crocker. The way Mr. Buck is going, and I can tell you now, if he continues down this particular path of trying to grow the Lost the way he is, the Lost will be in the eyes of the LSPD and FIB, and whether you believe it or not, the sniper rifle I used is the smallest tool that I have at my disposal.
What are you trying to set up an election? There's no election.
Look, I don't know how you guys deal with it. I've been, I've known gangs for many years, crews, MCs, associates, however you want to put them. I've known a variety of them. But I'm just telling you now, as being a member of it, is to have a think about, is this the way you want your MC to grow in this city and be known for? Or is there a different way that you want the Lost to grow?
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely think about that.
Right, so have a
Let me
think. Have
you
to think
thought,
about that.
right? If Buck gets put up river for the next 6-7 years, what are you going to do for leadership? Granted, you don't have to answer me that.
Yeah, I was
That's
just about
the
to say I'm not gonna answer that, but
you see where we're going with that, right?
yeah.
Look, I
see
would
that.
prefer to, be able to walk up to wherever you guys are located, give you, just talk to you, say, hey, hi, how you going? How's your day? You being good? Cool. You want some food? All right, cool. And I walk off. No harm, no foul.
Maybe shoot some pool.
Yeah, throw some darts, have a drink or two. You know what? That'd be fine. I've done it with, whether you've heard about the Icons here in City, I can walk up into their block, talk to their leader, fuck around with him, give him a handshake, give him a hug, and I can walk off without a weapon on me.
Now, why is that? Aren't you guys after them?
Now, you see, they are one of the, if not the biggest gang in the city. They have established themselves, but their leader does have some brain cells behind him. He is smart. He is calculated. And he knows when and where to do things and who needs to be punished within the crew itself. He keeps people in line. He's a sensible man. I give him credit for that. I have respect for him. He has respect for me. That's how we've been able to establish this civilized relationship between us. See, I would like to be able to do this with a lot of people in the city. I know it won't happen to everyone, and I don't expect it to happen to everyone. But at least my offer is out there. And if I can say to you, to have a think about the way you want your MC to grow, and not the way Buck is doing it now, just think about it. Think about what it is that you need to do. Do you want to be on police's radar every time we see you, every time we see your bike, we pull you over, thinking that, you've just done something absolutely fucking stupid? Or, we see you go, hey, how you doing, Mr. Crocker? And we keep going.
Or I'll give you another one. Every time we see you, are we going to be scared that we're going to get shot, and so we draw guns immediately? Versus, when we pull you over, hey, what's going on, brother?
Or just say you was a set of
Let's have a
traffic lights.
conversation.
But have a think about it, Mr. Crocker. All right?
I'm gonna tell you this.
All right.
You get me a deal out of here, no time. You can impound my car full price, whatever. I think it's already impounded. But you cut me a deal out of here, We'll see what happens when we get back to get out of prison. And I can almost reassure you that things will change.
Here's what I'll do.
What I will do. Go ahead, Green.
Here's what I'll do. I'll get, and Mr. Barnes can relay this to the other officers. Mr. Barnes, can you find out how much time he is facing for me, please?
I can. Before I go, I will go ahead and digitally here slide you my number if you ever want to talk. Whether it's let me know something or just in general. Which there you go. You have my number. You have my digital card there. For whatever reason, if you need to use it, I'm here. I do have direct contact with Mr. Green. And I can provide that information that you give to anybody you wish. And I'll
So
be right back.
find out for me what time and fine he's facing, please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say this too. I don't know when it's gonna happen or how it's gonna happen, but like I said, I can almost reassure you that things will change. Because I agree with most. It pains me to say it, but I agree with most of what you're saying. The club's not gonna grow like that. I mean, I've said enough.
That's completely understandable. I get that, you know, members in crews, gangs, MCs, whatever you want to call it, you know, you protect your brothers, you protect your sisters, you protect the people that are in there. You don't want to talk if you don't have to talk, if you can help it. I understand that. I completely do. But there does come a time, as you've probably realized, or you will come to realize, is that there may be a family member in there that is risking too much.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'll take all this into consideration, and again, I reassure you that things will change.
Good God. All right, you're looking at currently 45 months, $2,700.
45 and 2,700, was it?
Taken. Yeah, it's for hostage taken and robbery, I think it is, or something like that.
Here's what we'll do. Any weapons that you've had on you will be confiscated. Any illegal items that you had on you will be confiscated. You'll pay the $2,700 fine, but then you're going to walk out of the back of the MRPD.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, let me turn this device off.
And I do believe Cheddar is listening in on the other room.
Alrighty. Alright, you guys to do what you need to do. But again, Mr. Crocker, have a think about everything I spoke to you about.
Yeah, I'll take everything into consideration.
Okay, all good, man. Yeah, you went